Hello, folks. Welcome to the Mindset Artistry Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Paolo. This is episode number 15. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of the Mindset movement. Today, we are going to talk about 3 options that you have in just about every situation that you may be going through in your life. And this is, a toxic situation, a tough situation, a terrible situation, right? The 3 T's of horrible things that you might be going through. But look, that's just it. There's hard things that we're going to go through in our life. They're unavoidable. That's life. There's not much you can do about that unless you want to just live in a bubble and never do anything. But that's not the way the world works. So you're going to have to deal with these stressful situations. You're going to deal with toxic, tough, and terrible situations that you're going to have to figure out what you need to do, right? And you have 3 options, and I'm going to go through all 3 of those options. And then I'm actually going to stay tuned till the end because I'm going to talk about how this isn't just situations or people that you have to deal with. It's also with yourself. So, really generally, when we have these things, these hard things that we have to deal with, these terrible situations, these toxic situations, these tough situations, they could be maybe at your work, right? Whatever you do for a living. Maybe you're in a tough situation, you're unhappy there. You don't get along with someone there. You don't feel like they respect you. They're not utilizing you the right way. There's plenty of reasons why someone may be unhappy with their job or their occupation or their business, right? That's one scenario. Another one is relationships. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your significant other, whatever it is, right? Your friends that you have, people that you maybe been friends with for a really long time. Maybe you're unhappy with your friendship. Maybe you're not happy with the way people treat you. Your family, your people that are around you, your parents, your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever it is. All these different, scenarios, you could be in a toxic, tough, or terrible situation in that, right? And you need to, rather than just stay there, rather than just, be upset, be unhappy, rather than, bite your tongue or walk on eggshells, or you have to, go completely out of your way to make other people happy or make the environment better while you suffer. That's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not a good way to live. It's going to add more stress to you. It's going to make everything more difficult, and you're not going to be able to excel. You're not going to be able to have a great mindset. You're not going to be able to be a positive person. You're not going to be able to, want to accomplish more things and better yourself. And, it's very difficult to, excel and win and do great things and have success and accomplish things and accomplish your goals and all these different things when you're unhappy, when you're in a bad situation. It will bog you down, it will hold you down, and it will keep you there. And you will be unhappy and you will be sad, and you can get stuck there. You can get stuck in these toxic situations for a really, really long time just because you don't want to address it, just because you don't want to find the solution to that problem. I'm very big with that. I'm very big with, I don't see problems, I see solutions. So whatever it is, I'm going to figure out what I need to do to not be in that. I'm going to figure out what I need to do to remove that stress from my life. I'm going to figure out what I need to do to not put myself in a situation where I'm going to be, held down, stressed out, held behind. It's just not good. It's not a good way to live. It's not fair to you. And it's not really fair to even the other people in this situation, the people at work, the people, your loved ones, possibly. If you're just trying to accommodate with the result of, you being unhappy, that's not fair to anyone else, because eventually you're going to snap. Eventually it's going to blow up. Eventually it's just not going to last in that situation, and it's going to come to an end one way or another. So you might as well get ahead of it, and you might as well figure out the best way to do it. Okay? So going back now, we have 3 options to deal with any scenario. And again, this is work, relationships, whatever else it is in your life. You have 3 options, okay? So you're dealing with a tough thing, right? Let's use work for an example, okay? You're dealing with a tough situation. You're unhappy there. Maybe you don't get along with someone there. Maybe you don't agree with the way the company's being run. Maybe you don't agree with the way things are being done. Maybe they're being done unethically, right? But who knows? Maybe you're wrong in this situation too. Maybe you're not looking at it the right way, right? But you're not going to know that or understand it because maybe you're only seeing it from your side. But here's the first option. This is what I suggest to do first, okay? You address it. You address it head on, whatever the situation is. If you're unhappy with someone there, let's just say you don't get along with someone there, take them aside, have a conversation. Maybe you're unhappy with the way management's treating you. Ask for a meeting and sit down and talk to them or the owner or whoever it is, but you need to address it immediately. You sitting around complaining about it to others, walking around unhappy, walking around, where it's affecting what you can actually get done, when it's affecting the work that you need to do, and you're not doing it right, or you're half-assing it maybe, or your heart's not into it because you're unhappy there. That's not helping anyone. So you need to address it. You need to address it right away. Whatever that situation is, you ask for a meeting, you ask for a conversation, and you sit down and you express what you're unhappy about, and you look for a way to work it out. You look for how do we make this work, okay? You got to find common ground. You figure out a way to fix it, okay? And listen, at the end of the day, that may not work. At the end of the day, you may go through all that and it may not change a thing. It may not fix a thing. They may tell you, well, hey, look, this is just the way it is, or whatever. Like you have to be prepared for that, and you have to understand that. But it will be better for you and everyone else if you are upset about something, you are not happy about something at your job, that you address it. You get that meeting, you let them know what you're unhappy about, and you come with solutions as well. Like, hey, look, this is something that I don't really like here, but here's what I think, and you tell me maybe if this is good or not, right? Like, don't just come there venting and complaining. Like, you need to have some solutions. You need to have, some kind of plan of action there that shows that you're not just there complaining. You're really trying to look for a way to work this out, figure it out, find common ground, and help the company. And in doing so, now you're coming to them and you're a part of the team, right? You're part of the solution and not the problem at that point, right? So that's the first option. Now that's the same with, a relationship. You're unhappy with your spouse or your significant other or boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, a friend, family member, whatever it is. Have a conversation with them. You need to communicate. You need to sit down and have a conversation. Lay it all out. This is what I'm unhappy about. How do we work this out? How do we figure this out? What can we do? What can we both change to make this work? Okay, so you could see how these two situations, these two scenarios, yes, they're much different, but they're very much the same in that how you want to approach this. You need to sit down, head on, have the conversation, look to work it out, find common ground, come with solutions, and try to fix it. And again, it may not fix it. It may go on deaf ears. It may just not be what you think it is, and then you got to look at option 2, okay? So that leads to option 2. Option 2 is you leave, okay? You leave the situation. You quit that job. You get transferred to another department. You break up with that person. You get a divorce in some situations if you are actually married, right? That's your second option. You got to leave it. You quit, you leave it, you walk away, and you're done with it. It's over. You're moving on. You're moving on to something else. And look, that's not easy, right? It's like, so that's why you want to try option 1 first. Try to fix it. Try to work it out. Try to find common ground. But if you can't, and you understand that, and it's understood by all parties that this isn't going to change and this is the way it's going to be, well, then now you owe it to yourself to say, okay, look, I tried to fix it out. You can look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I tried, but it's not going to work out. So I got to go. I got to do what's right for me. I got to do what's right for my family, my peace, my happiness, my progress, my success, the things that I want to accomplish in life. I got to do what's right for me. Staying here in this toxic, tough, terrible situation isn't helping me, not helping anyone else, and I need to get out. So that's your other option. You leave, you quit, you do whatever you have to do to exit that situation, get away from that situation, get away from those people, get away from that company, whatever it is. That's option 2, right? Again, it's not going to be easy, A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like quitting on things. A lot of people don't even like that process of change and going to do something different and starting over and all these different things. But look, at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to cut the cord. And when you do that, it will open up new doors. It will open up better things. It will put you in a better place. It will make you be a happier person. And especially knowing that you did try to fix it, it didn't work out. So now I'm out. Okay, that's option 2. Now, here's option 3. And option 3, it hurts a little bit. Option 3 is the one that it's going to ruffle some feathers. Option 3 is the one that, people are going to say, oh, well, that's not very sensitive or empathetic, So here, and this is again, after trying option 1, trying to fix it. That didn't work. Now you entertained option 2, quitting, leaving the situation, whatever it is. But for whatever reason, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do option 2. You tried option 1, you don't want to do option 2. Now here's option 3. If you can't do either one of those two, you shut the fuck up and deal with it. Yeah, it sucks, right? But look, you tried to work it out, you tried to fix it. You don't want to quit and you don't want to leave. You shut the fuck up and deal with it. Because complaining about it, crying about it, staying in a toxic situation, making things worse, making the environment worse, bringing everyone else down with you, sitting there being unhappy and all this other stuff, and it's stressing you out and hurting you and all these different things. Well, you are staying in that situation. Maybe you tried option 1. You don't want option 2 of quitting. So now you just got to shut up and deal with it. Because you complaining about it, you crying about it, all these different things, that's a problem, okay? You had the solutions. The solutions didn't work. So now you just got to shut up and deal with it. Because if you can't fix it, you can't work it out, you can't find common ground, and you don't want to leave, and you don't want to quit, and you don't want to go try to do or start or do something else, well, then you just got to shut up and deal with it. Okay, because that's the last and final option. All right, I don't suggest that one because it's not good for you and it's not good for anyone else. But that's what you're left with if you can't do 1 and 2. Okay, and that one hurts. That one. So I would suggest avoiding that one. I would suggest getting out of any situation that it is holding you down, making you unhappy, stressing you out. I would much rather option 1 work. But if that doesn't, option 2 is the better option. You need to leave and you need to figure out what's next. What's the next chapter? But if you can't do either one of those two, gotta shut up and deal with it. Complaining about it, crying about it, and all that other stuff, and being the victim, and that victimhood mentality, and all that other BS isn't going to help you, okay? So I would maybe even revisit option 1 and 2 again before you get stuck with option 3, all right? So that's it, real simple. So like I said in the beginning of this, this isn't just with, third-party outside factors, other people, your work, all these other things. It's also with you, okay? And when I talk about mindset a lot, one of the biggest factors is accountability. One of the biggest factors is understanding that it's on you and knowing that at the end of the day, everything is on you. It's your responsibility and you got to deal with it. So, but a lot of times we'll get stuck in bad behaviors, right? We'll get stuck in bad habits and different things that we do. And really, it's no different than what I was saying earlier. It's no different than that toxic, tough, or terrible relationship, that toxic, tough, and terrible work environment. Your behaviors, the things you do, they're the same. So let's use health as an example, right? You got to lose 30 pounds, right? You're overweight, you're not in good shape. So what do? Okay. Well, the first thing you need to do is, how do we work it out? What do we do? All right, let me come up with a plan. All right, I need to eat better. These are the things that I'm going to change that I'm going to cut out in my dietary options. These are the things that I'm not going to eat anymore. These are the things that I'm going to start eating. So maybe it's, hey, I'm not eating pizza and French fries, but I'm going to start eating salads. And then the other thing is, okay, well, I got to start working out. Well, all right, well, hey, I'm going to start walking every day. I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to go 2 days a week, 3 days a week to the gym. Come up with a plan. Try to work it out. Try to figure it out, right? So that's the one. Like the one option. You're figuring out how to make this work. Yeah, you can have a cheat meal. You can enjoy yourself a little bit, but I'm going to have a better lifestyle. I'm going to work out more. I'm going to eat better. All these different things, right? Other option is option 2, where you just quit and you leave it, right? But this is different when it comes to health, because sometimes if you just quit, that means you're dead. All right, that means you're not dealing with it. I'm just going to do whatever, and I'm not going to worry about it. And you know what? That can have dire consequences, right? You don't want to do that. Or that can mean I'm going cold turkey. I'm quitting doing all this stuff. I'm not eating anything bad. I'm going 100 balls to the wall and super disciplined and super accountable. That's another side of it, right? So you can look at this in a couple different ways, all right? The last option, again, is just shut up and deal with it, right? Stop complaining. Stop saying your clothes don't fit you. Stop saying you don't look good. Stop walking around unhappy and miserable and bringing other people down with you. If that's the life you're choosing and that's what you want, then you got to shut up and deal with it. That's just it, right? So you can apply this to anything that you need to do in your life. Drinking alcohol, drugs, being on social media too much, binging Netflix too much, right? You can apply this to everything in your life. Try to work it out. Try to figure out the best way to just quit it. And if you don't want to do either one of those two, you shut up and deal with it. That's it. These are the options that you have with mostly everything in your life, okay? And, you know, I'm already teaching this to my son. He's 4 years old, and I'm already having these conversations with him. He comes home and talking about things from daycare, maybe someone that he doesn't get along with, this and that. And I'm already explaining it to him, like, hey, tell them you don't like that. No, that didn't work. All right, stop being around them. Quit. Stop being around them. Ignore them. Get away from them. Play with the other friends. No, you don't want to do either one of those two? Shut up and deal with it then. Because that you complaining about it isn't helping anything. You complaining doesn't solve anything. Okay? And that's at the end of the day. That's what this is, like, the main thing here is. You complaining, crying, playing the victim, and all that other stuff about anything going on in your life doesn't fix it, doesn't solve it, doesn't help anything. All right? So figure out how to work it out. Figure out how to get away from it. And if not, you got to shut up and deal with it. That is life. And when you come to that realization, and you understand that, you will be in a much better place in life. It will help you in life. You will get through much more hard things in your life when you understand that you have just those 3 options. Those are your options. You need to pick one, and then after it's said and done, you will be a better person. So that's it, everyone. Thank you for joining. I will see you all next week.